Hi, my name is Gail, and this is Two Shots and a Pint. Today we have our special guest back, right? Trump is here to be able to help us go through a few of the questions I've had over the years in the course of my career regarding what I do for a living. I am a WSET Advanced Certificate Awardee for Wines and Spirits, and I do wine lectures for educational institutions as well as consult for restaurants and importers. For them, I normally hook them up with suppliers, and I also come up with a wine list for their restaurants. So that's what I do. I also write for a few online publications. I normally write what I know, which is about wine, right? And I also do talks for a few corporate clients, as well as be a dog mom. I've had some of the most fascinating questions about my job for the past few years, and I'll read through a couple of them with you guys. So here. So do you drink all day long? So that is the biggest misconception about my job. I wish that were the case. My liver wishes otherwise. But there's a lot of study involving what I do for a living. There's a lot of books, right? A lot of practice. The books, if you see the material that I have to go through to be able to make my lectures or my talks and my articles more, shall we say, intelligent, it involves a lot of different information, oftentimes in multiple languages, typically European in nature, which is why I decided to study French to be able to make sense of some of the things that I was reading. I also have to constantly update myself, which is hard to do here in the Philippines because we don't have a winery, we don't have vineyards, right? So I used to be able to travel to different parts of the world to be able to just do research right there in the vineyards. But the thing is, the pandemic happened, so that's not going to happen anytime soon. So I'm stuck right now watching online talks, reading even more books, and keeping my palate up to date by sampling different wines. So when I say sampling, it doesn't mean that I have to guzzle an entire bottle in one go. I have to be able to detect the nuances per wine that I drink, right? Which means I have to be able to maintain sobriety to be able to do that. What is your biggest challenge as a wine lecturer? To be perfectly honest, the biggest challenge I typically face is whenever I teach a bunch of undergrads. Because sometimes I do teach for the hotel and restaurant institution management schools. And there are many times where about 60% of the class are forced to be there, right? So they just have to take it as an elective, and it kind of makes for a very harrowing situation. Some people, speaking of the previous question, think that wine classes are all about getting drunk, and it's going to be a fun class, and then they start getting faced with the amount of material that they have to go through again in multiple languages, and then they decide, this is not fun, and we're just gonna sit through the class until the end of the term. That makes for somebody like me useless to them and them useless to me. So it's kind of sad, but it is the truth. It is challenging. So what I try to do is to find ways to be able to get their interests. Normally at the beginning of the course, I try to ask them what they like to do and try to relate the material to that. Now, for the adult classes, the challenges I typically face involves having to teach people who have been in the industry for quite a long time, because they've had so much experience, and so their library in their heads of alcohol that they've consumed over the course of their lifespan and their careers are quite vast, sometimes including some wines that are so obscure. But the thing is, if you have to teach wine basics, if I have to assist in the WSET courses that are offered in our school, for example, by Paolo Nessi, what tends to happen is I have to, get them to unlearn the things that they've already learned so that they'd be able to wrap their minds around the fundamentals and the basics. Because if they don't, the next material to be able to absorb even the things that are obscure would be difficult. So there is that. Wine has to be expensive to be enjoyable. Okay, so there is some merit to paying a premium for quality wines. It's no different from having to pay a significant amount of money for, shall we say, very fancy cars, right? Because the quality is there. But by and large, you don't have to always pay so much for good wine. So for instance, the wine that I'm having today, if I can like make it go to the center and remove my mouse, right? It is a Chilean Cabernet Sauvignon. Now, the thing about it is that, especially this, if I'm not mistaken, the reason why I bought this for myself, is that, there you go. It is from Maipo, and typically the style of the wines, the red wines from Maipo are the big, fruit-forward styles, which tends to be really good. In fact, one of the guys I really respect in the industry, James Suckling, actually gave this 93 points, which is pretty high. Having said that, this is not the most expensive thing in the planet in Philippine pesos, and you can do the math wherever you are in the world, but it's significantly less. It's definitely less than 2,000 pesos. It's not that expensive.
Wow.
Right? So yeah, and it's enjoyable. So how do you enjoy inexpensive wines? That's where a little bit of wine knowledge comes in. So like I said a while ago, this is from Maipo. It's knowing that the style of a Cabernet Sauvignon from Maipo is this way, right? It will be, better than, shall we say, a Cabernet Sauvignon from a region that doesn't really produce Cabernet Sauvignons that well. So shall we say, right? So there is that. On the same vein, some people always think that I am very difficult to give wine to, but quite honestly, give me a Marlborough Sauvignon Blanc and I'll be completely happy. So there you go. So if you like this, hit the subscribe button. If you feel like, you have comments about this particular episode. Do you? I don't think he does. Anyway, so if you do have any comments about this particular episode, or if you have any more questions about what wine professionals do for a living or what we do on a daily basis, put it in the comments below. Hit the subscribe button so that you'll find out whenever we have new videos like this, right? Hit the bell because apparently that's the way that you can get alerted if I'm around. So I'll try to do this a little bit more consistently because I haven't been. So there you go. All right, so cheers.